Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a model launched in 2007, atypical for the brand and for the model line. This is the Breitling Bentley Mark VI Complications 19. Unlike most Breitling for Bentley watches, it is not enormous, and unlike most Breitling timepieces, it is immensely complicated. The watch is named after the Bentley Mark VI, which was built from 1946 to 1952. It was the first Bentley Rolls-Royce product to have an all-steel body. It ran with a big straight six power plant, and this watch, in good taste, is a fitting homage to that landmark product. The watch is reasonably sized for a Breitling Bentley. At 42 millimeters in diameter, it is 16.2 millimeters thick. It is 49.8 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, with a nice modern 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, while the Bentley Mark VI may have been remarkable for its all-steel body, this is not all steel. The watch is a case and a clasp made of steel, but the knurled bezel is made of platinum. The timepiece is 42 millimeters in diameter and wears easily on a 16 centimeter circumference wrist, which is to say the watch is large but not oversized. Now, being almost 50 millimeters from lug to lug, I'm going to recommend that this watch be worn on a wrist of at least my size. So I'll zoom out a little bit to give you better perspective. My arm, my hand, my wrist, actually a little bit bigger than you might think. So the timepiece wears well on my wrist, but because it is pushing right out to the edge, I wouldn't wear it on a wrist smaller than this. It's not going to fit underneath a dress cuff, though a jacket should be all right. Taking a quick look, Breitling straps during the late Schneider era tended to be extraordinarily substantial. And of course, the Schneider family owning Breitling from the late 70s through 2017, and this is the Theodore Schneider era of Breitling, and he must have decreed that every watch should have a strap fit for a Patek Philippe. Large rectangular scale alligator leather. We have a dark blue coloration, plenty of stuffing to add volume. They call that bolstering. There's a contrasting white stitch. You can see that the blue of the dial matches the blue of the gator. It is sheer cut in profile, showing the immense thickness of the leather that's used. You can see it's bolstered close to the lugs, but then it thins out, and it's a wonderfully supple calfskin on the bottom. Note the absence of any perforations in the strap. That's not how you size this strap. We have a friction fit single fold deployant clasp here, and the strap loops in and then under, and you size it by crimping it. That obviates the need for minder loops, so it keeps the look very clean once the strap is sized down. The case is simple, blended lug and case band profiles. Everything's in high polish. There's a little bit of a squared off profile at the end of the lugs. We have elongated chronograph pushers and a slightly countersunk Breitling branded crown. The crown, as you can see, is a screw down. The watch is 100 meters water resistant. We have a knurling here, evocative of custom Bentleys, past and present. This knurled pattern is often used on bright work within and without the machines. The dial is a metallic blue, and there's several different metallic blues. We have a sort of matte finish for the flange, which can be used for gauging seconds and minutes. Then we have a sort of metallic dial base that's a sunburst, and then you can see a sectioned, roughly square profile. It's like a rounded square that features a subtle concentric pattern within. We have rhodium-plated steel indices and rhodium-plated steel hands. The hands are of broadsword style. We'll do a quick loom shot here. You can see the watch is actually quite well loomed. It is a sports watch after all. Now we have a couple of complications. First, and most obviously, we have a chronograph. Reset, stop, start. It's a vertical clutch chronograph module on top of an ETA 2892A2 chronometer automatic base. But what really makes this impressive is that in addition to being a modular chronograph, it's a modular quasi-perpetual calendar. Breitling sometimes calls this complication the 1461, and it is very nearly a perpetual calendar. It's more than an annual calendar. It needs to be reset once every 4 years, hence 1,461 days. That's why it's called the 1461 complication. So you don't have to reset it every year during the jump from February to March. You just have to account for February the 29th when it visits once every 4 years. So, more than an annual calendar and far more than a simple calendar, it's mostly set it and forget it. It also includes a moon phase complication, and you can see it features the day, the date, the month. We also have chronograph minutes, and the watch, of course, being 2892 based, does feature a hacking seconds function, and then it does not feature a quick set. That is one of the quirky features. You lose the quick set function. All of the calendar adjustments are made using the case flank pushers. Now, because it is a vertical clutch chronograph complication, you can start it without any jump or stagger. It doesn't have the inherent play of a lateral clutch. So underneath the case back, which declares this is a special edition, and indeed it is, you can see we have a screw down case back with the Breitling B echoed in the Bentley winged B logo. So you can see your Breitling B here and your Bentley B here. We have a 2892A2 automatic base, which is an ETA movement, bidirectional winding. It has a 42-hour power reserve. It does feature the stop seconds function we saw before. It beats at 8 beats per second. It has the 1461 calendar system, the moon phase, the vertical clutch for the chronograph, and it has a C Swiss chronometer certification as a movement. All of this with a screw-down crown, 100 meters water resistant. If you like complicated watchmaking, but you want something that's a little bit bigger and more boisterous than a Vacheron, a Lange, a Patek, or an Audemars, this is a great alternative. More appealing than a typical Breitling for Bentley for its size, it has an enduring beauty to the point that I would say this watch hasn't aged a day or lost any appeal since its launch 15 years ago. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.